Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins. The most valuable Lincoln Old Wheat penny coins value in market in dollar. So let's get started. First up, the 1938 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark. And even though this coin may have some scratches, it is considered to be in extra fine condition. This makes it an interesting and collectible piece of American history. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, produced from 1909 to 1958, features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front and two wheat stalks on the back, which is why it is commonly referred to as a wheat penny. The 1938 penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark. During that year, millions of pennies were produced, and this coin circulated widely in everyday transactions. Despite its age, finding a 1938 penny in extra fine condition is relatively uncommon, as most coins from that period show considerable wear due to circulation. Extra fine condition means that the coin has only light wear on the highest points of the design. The details of Lincoln's face, hair, and clothing are still visible, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are mostly sharp with only minor signs of wear. Some scratches or small surface marks are normal, even on coins that are otherwise well preserved. Collectors often consider coins in extra fine condition to be among the most desirable for their balance of quality and affordability. While uncirculated coins are more expensive, extra fine coins offer a chance to own a piece of history without paying premium prices. The 1938 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition generally has a value ranging from about $3 to $7, depending on the severity of any scratches and the overall eye appeal. Coins that are particularly attractive in color and luster may sell for slightly more. While the date itself is not rare, the extra fine condition makes it more desirable than the typical heavily worn examples that are still found in change or circulated coin lots. Collectors who focus on building complete Lincoln Wheat penny sets often seek coins in extra fine condition to fill in missing dates for their collection. The market value of any coin also depends on factors such as originality, surface quality, and overall appearance. Even if a coin has some scratches, if it has not been cleaned aggressively or damaged beyond normal circulation, it can retain most of its collectible value. Coins that have maintained their natural copper color, ranging from light brown to deep red-brown, tend to be more appealing and can fetch higher prices. Conversely, coins that have darkened excessively or suffered corrosion may sell for less even if they are technically in extra fine condition. Minor scratches are common on coins of this age and do not generally deter collectors as long as the main features of the coin are still clearly visible. Next up today, we are looking at another classic American coin, the 1935 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no letter below the date. The Lincoln Wheat penny series, produced from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most famous and widely collected coin series in United States history. The year 1935 places this coin during the Great Depression era, a difficult time in American history when coins were used heavily in everyday life. Because of this, many pennies from this period circulated for years and showed dirt, wear, and scratches. Scratches are very common on circulated coins from the 1930s. These scratches often come from coins rubbing against each other in pockets, purses, drawers, or jars over many decades. Light to moderate scratches usually do not destroy the coin's value, especially for common dates like 1935. Collectors mainly look out for severe damage, such as deep gouges, corrosion, or holes. As long as the coin has not been harshly cleaned or heavily damaged, it can still be considered collectible even in dirty condition. The 1935 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark is considered a common date because millions were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Due to its high mintage, it is not rare, especially in circulated grades. However, collectors still value it as part of the historical Lincoln Wheat penny series. Many collectors aim to complete full date sets, and coins like this are essential pieces, even when they are worn or dirty. Age, history, and originality often matter more than perfect condition for entry-level collectors. In today's market, a 1935 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty, circulated condition typically has a value ranging from about 10 cents to 50 cents. Coins that have lighter scratches and readable details tend to be toward the higher end of this range, while very dark or heavily worn examples may be closer to the lower end. While this value may seem small, it is still many times the original face value of 1 cent, showing how even common old coins can hold collector value. Color and surface appearance also affect value. Most 1935 wheat pennies today have turned brown or dark brown due to natural copper oxidation over time. Dirt, uneven toning, and surface grime are common and usually accepted for circulated coins. Many collectors actually prefer coins with original surfaces, even if they are dirty, rather than coins that have been aggressively cleaned. Cleaning can remove original metal, damage the surface, and reduce collector interest. Although the 1935 wheat penny is not rare, it is always worth checking for unusual characteristics or mint errors. Coins with doubled letters, off-center strikes, or die cracks can be worth more than standard examples, even in worn or dirty condition. However, most 1935 pennies are regular issues, and their value is mainly based on condition, visibility of details, and overall appearance. Next up is the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark below the date. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958 and remains one of the most popular and widely collected coin series in United States history. The 1944 penny comes from the middle of World War II, a time when pennies were heavily used in everyday life, and copper was still the primary metal used for coin production. Pennies like this one were part of daily transactions and were circulated extensively, which is why many examples today show wear and scratches. The 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a common date, with millions of coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of this high mintage, the coin is not rare, particularly in circulated grades like fine condition. However, its age and historical context give it appeal for collectors who are looking to complete a full set of Lincoln wheat pennies, or who are interested in coins from the World War II era. Even common dates are collectible when they are preserved well and have not been severely damaged or improperly cleaned. In today's market, a 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition typically has a value ranging from about 15 cents to $1. Coins with lighter scratches, better overall eye appeal, and more even color are usually closer to the higher end of this range. Coins that are darker, heavily scratched, or have minor surface damage generally sell toward the lower end. While the monetary value may seem modest, it is still several times higher than the coin's original face value of 1 cent, which makes it attractive to collectors and casual enthusiasts alike. Scratches do affect the value, but minor surface marks are expected on coins of this age. Collectors are more concerned about serious damage, such as deep gouges, corrosion, or evidence of harsh cleaning. Coins that have been cleaned aggressively can lose much of their collectible appeal, while naturally circulated coins with light scratches retain their historical authenticity. Many collectors actually prefer coins that show honest wear over coins that have been polished, because natural wear tells the story of the coin's journey through circulation over decades. Color is another important factor in determining value. Most 1944 wheat pennies today have aged to a brown or reddish-brown tone due to natural oxidation of the copper. This is completely normal for circulated coins and does not significantly lower their appeal. Coins that have developed uneven toning, dark spots, or minor surface grime are still considered collectible, provided the main design features are intact. A well-preserved color and natural patina can even enhance the coin's appeal among collectors. Although the 1944 wheat penny is not a rare date, it is always worth checking for unusual features or minting errors. Coins with off-center strikes, doubled lettering, or die cracks can be significantly more valuable, even in circulated or fine condition. However, the vast majority of 1944 pennies are ordinary issues, and their value is mainly determined by their grade, surface quality, and eye appeal. Next up, the 1947 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D below the date on the front of the coin. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958 and is one of the most collected and well-known coin series in United States history. The year 1947 comes just after World War II, a time when the American economy was transitioning back to normal life and coins were once again circulating heavily in everyday commerce. Because of this widespread use, many pennies from this period show noticeable wear and scratches. Scratches are very common on circulated coins from the 1940s. These scratches often come from years of coins rubbing together in pockets, drawers, jars, or cash registers. Light to moderate scratches are generally acceptable for a coin in good condition and do not automatically make it undesirable. Collectors are usually more concerned about serious damage, such as deep cuts, corrosion, holes, or signs of harsh cleaning. As long as the coin has not been badly damaged, it can still be considered collectible, even with scratches. The 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a D mint mark is considered a common date. Millions of these coins were produced at the Denver Mint, which means they are not rare, especially in circulated grades like good condition. However, common does not mean worthless. Many collectors enjoy assembling complete sets of Lincoln Wheat pennies by date and mint mark, and coins like this are essential parts of those collections. Even lower-grade examples help tell the story of the series and its long circulation history. In today's market, a 1947 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with a D mint mark in good condition typically has a value ranging from about 10 cents to 40 cents. Coins with lighter scratches, more even color, and clearer dates usually sell toward the higher end of this range. Coins that are darker, more heavily scratched, or worn nearly smooth tend to be closer to the lower end. While these values are modest, they are still many times higher than the original face value of 1 cent. Color and surface appearance also affect value. Most 1947 wheat pennies today have aged to a brown or dark brown color due to natural copper oxidation. This is completely normal and expected for circulated copper coins. Dirt, uneven toning, and surface grime are common and usually accepted by collectors, especially for coins in good condition. Coins with original, uncleaned surfaces are often preferred over coins that have been polished or cleaned, as cleaning can damage the metal and reduce collector interest. Although the 1947 wheat penny is not a rare issue, it is always worth checking for unusual features or minting errors. Coins with doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or die cracks can sometimes be worth significantly more than standard examples, even in worn condition. However, the vast majority of 1947 pennies are normal issues, and their value is mainly determined by condition, eye appeal, and overall preservation. The historical significance of the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny adds to its appeal. This coin circulated during a time when America was rebuilding after the war, and families were returning to everyday routines. It may have been used to buy small items, saved in jars, or passed through countless hands during a time of economic recovery. Holding a coin like this provides a tangible connection to post-war American life and reminds us how important even small coins were in daily transactions. Next up, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no letter below the date. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958, making it one of the most iconic and widely collected coin series in United States history. The 1956 wheat penny comes from the later years of the series, a time when pennies were still heavily used in everyday transactions and circulated widely. Coins from this period often show signs of wear, scratches, and handling, which is why many examples today are found in good or circulated condition. The 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is considered a common date, as millions were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of this high mintage, it is not rare, particularly in circulated grades, such as good condition. However, coins from this era are still collectible, especially for people completing a full date set of Lincoln wheat pennies. Even ordinary coins can hold value when they are preserved well and have not been damaged by corrosion or aggressive cleaning. In today's market, a 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition typically has a value ranging from about 5 cents to 30 cents, depending on wear, scratches, and overall eye appeal. Coins with lighter scratches, even coloration, and minimal surface damage are likely to sell toward the higher end of this range, while coins that are heavily worn or have darker surfaces tend to sell closer to the lower end. While these values are modest, they are still higher than the coin's original face value of 1 cent, making it appealing to beginner collectors or anyone looking to add common dates to their collection. Scratches are common on coins of this age, and light surface marks do not usually prevent collectors from purchasing the coin. More serious damage, such as deep gouges, corrosion, or harsh cleaning, can reduce value, but minor scratches and natural wear are expected. Many collectors actually prefer coins that show honest circulation wear, as these coins tell a story about how they were used over decades and retain historical authenticity. Color is another factor that can influence value. Most 1956 wheat pennies today have aged to a brown or red-brown tone due to natural oxidation of the copper. This is normal and acceptable for circulated coins. Coins that have uneven toning, minor surface dirt, or slight discoloration can still be collectible, provided the main design features are intact. Natural color and patina are generally more appealing to collectors than coins that have been artificially cleaned, which can strip away the original surface. Although the 1956 wheat penny is not considered rare, it is always a good idea to check for unusual features or minting errors. Coins with off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks can sometimes be more valuable, even in lower grades. However, most 1956 pennies are standard issues, and their value is mainly determined by condition, eye appeal, and how well they have survived over time. The appeal of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny lies not only in its monetary value, but also in its connection to American history. This coin circulated during a time when pennies were essential to everyday commerce, passing from hand to hand in stores, on street corners, and in savings jars. Owning a coin like this provides a tangible link to the past and helps collectors appreciate the role of small denomination coins in everyday life. Next up, the 1919 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no letter below the date. The Lincoln wheat penny series began in 1909 and continued until 1958, and coins from the early years of this series are especially appealing to collectors because of their age and history. The year 1919 places this penny just after World War I, during a time when the United States was adjusting to post-war life and economic changes. Pennies from this era were used heavily in everyday transactions, which explains why many examples today show dirt, wear, and scratches. One interesting feature of this coin is its red color shade. Early Lincoln wheat pennies were made primarily of copper, and when well preserved or lightly circulated, some coins can retain traces of their original red or reddish-brown color. Over time, most copper coins turn brown due to oxidation, so seeing red tones, even on a dirty coin, can add some visual appeal. However, dirt and scratches can dull the brightness of the color and reduce overall eye appeal, especially if the coin has circulated for more than 100 years. Scratches are extremely common on coins from the 19-teens. These scratches often come from decades of handling, coins rubbing together in pockets, jars, or drawers, in general everyday use. Light to moderate scratches are usually acceptable to collectors for a coin of this age, especially when the coin is a common date. Collectors are more concerned about severe damage, such as deep gouges, holes, corrosion, or signs of harsh cleaning. As long as the coin has not been aggressively cleaned or badly damaged, it still holds collector value despite being dirty and scratched. The 1919 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in dirty condition with some scratches typically has a value ranging from about 30 cents to $1. Coins that retain stronger red or red-brown color and have clearer details tend to be toward the higher end of this range. Coins that are heavily scratched, very dark, or extremely worn usually fall closer to the lower end. While this value may not seem high, it is still many times the original face value of 1 cent, showing how age and history add worth to old coins. Color and originality play an important role in value. Even if a coin is dirty, collectors often prefer original surfaces over coins that have been cleaned. Cleaning can remove metal, damage the surface, and eliminate natural toning, which can reduce collector interest. A dirty but original coin is usually more desirable than a shiny coin that has been polished. Natural wear, dirt, and toning help tell the story of the coin's long life in circulation. Although the 1919 wheat penny is not rare, it is always worth checking for unusual features or minting errors. Coins with doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or other errors can be worth more than standard examples, even in worn condition. However, most 1919 pennies are normal issues, and their value is mainly based on condition, color, and overall appearance.
Next up, the 1941 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no letter below the date. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958 and remains one of the most widely collected and recognized coin series in United States history. The 1941 penny comes from the period just before the United States entered World War II, a time when coins were heavily used in daily life and pennies played an important role in everyday transactions. Coins from this era were circulated extensively, which is why many examples today show signs of wear, dirt, and scratches. Scratches are common on coins that have circulated for more than 70 years. Minor scratches from handling, storage with other coins, or contact with surfaces are expected. These scratches usually do not significantly reduce the value of a coin in fine condition as long as the date and major design features are intact. Coins that have not been harshly cleaned and retain their natural surface are often more appealing to collectors, as natural wear and dirt add to the authenticity and historical character of the coin. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is considered a common date, as millions were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. While it is not rare, collectors value it for its historical significance and its place in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. Collectors building a complete set of wheat pennies often seek coins in fine condition, even if they are dirty or have minor scratches, because they represent a realistic example of a circulated coin from that period. Age, historical context, and condition all play a role in its appeal. In today's market, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in dirty, fine condition with a brown color shade typically has a value ranging from about 15 cents to $1. Coins with lighter scratches and more attractive natural coloration tend to be toward the higher end of this range, while heavily scratched or darker coins fall toward the lower end. While this value may seem modest, it is still many times higher than the coin's original face value of 1 cent, making it a collectible item for both beginners and experienced coin collectors. Color is an important factor when evaluating the value of copper coins. Most pennies from this era have aged to brown or red-brown tones, and this is normal for circulated coins. The natural patina and toning of the coin, even when slightly dirty, can add character and appeal. Coins with uneven toning or minor surface dirt are still acceptable and collectible, provided that the design and date remain legible.
Many collectors prefer coins with original surfaces and natural aging over coins that have been polished, as polishing can reduce collector interest and value. Although the 1941 wheat penny is a common date, it is always worth checking for unusual features or mint errors. Coins with doubled dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can be more valuable, even if they are circulated and scratched. However, most 1941 pennies are standard issues, and their value is determined primarily by their condition, surface quality, and overall eye appeal. The appeal of the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny lies not just in its monetary value, but also in its historical context. This coin circulated during a pivotal era in American history, just before the country entered World War II. It may have been used to purchase everyday items, saved in jars, or passed through countless hands. Holding a coin like this offers a tangible link to the past, showing how small denominations were essential in everyday life.
First up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D below the date on the obverse. The Lincoln wheat penny series was produced from 1909 to 1958 and is one of the most collected coin series in United States history. The year 1944 falls during World War II, a time when coins were heavily used in daily life and circulated widely across the country. Because of this heavy use, many coins from this year show signs of wear, scratches, and handling. A coin graded as very fine shows moderate circulation wear but still retains strong design details. On a 1944 wheat penny in very fine condition, Abraham Lincoln's portrait is sharp, with most facial features clearly visible. The hair details are still present, though the highest points may show slight smoothing. The date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust," are all clear and easy to read. On the reverse, the two wheat ears are well defined, with most of the inner lines visible. Some scratches and light surface marks are normal for a coin that has circulated for over 80 years and do not significantly reduce its collectible appeal. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark had a very large mintage, making it a common date overall. Because millions of these pennies were produced, they're not considered rare, especially in circulated grades. However, coins in very fine condition are more desirable than heavily worn examples because they preserve much of the original design. Collectors often seek very fine coins as they offer a good balance between affordability and visual appeal. In today's market, a 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark in very fine condition typically has a value ranging from about 50 cents to $2. Coins with fewer scratches, stronger detail, and more attractive natural color usually sell closer to the higher end of this range. Coins with heavier surface marks or darker toning may fall closer to the lower end. While this value may not be high compared to rare coins, it is still many times greater than the original face value of 1 cent. Scratches are common on circulated coins from the 1940s, and light scratches are usually acceptable to collectors. What matters most is that the scratches are not deep or distracting, and that the coin has not suffered major damage. Collectors generally avoid coins with severe gouges, corrosion, or signs of harsh cleaning. Coins with natural wear in original surfaces are preferred because they maintain historical authenticity in original character. Color also plays an important role in determining value. Most 1944 wheat pennies today display a brown or red-brown color due to natural copper oxidation over time. This is completely normal and expected for circulated coins. Even toning and a natural patina may add to a coin's visual appeal. Coins that appear overly bright or polished may actually be less desirable, as cleaning can damage the surface and reduce collector interest. Although the 1944 D wheat penny is a common issue, collectors should still check for possible minting errors. Some error coins, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can be worth significantly more than standard examples, even in circulated condition. However, the vast majority of 1944 D pennies are regular issues, and their value depends mainly on condition, eye appeal, and preservation. The historical significance of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny adds to its appeal. This coin circulated during a crucial period in American history when the nation was deeply involved in World War II.
It may have been used by soldiers' families, factory workers, or everyday citizens buying essential goods. Each coin tells a small story of the past, connecting modern collectors to a time when pennies were an essential part of daily commerce. In summary, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark in very fine condition, even with some scratches, is a widely collected and historically meaningful coin. In today's market, its value generally ranges from about 50 cents to $2, depending on wear, scratches, color, and overall eye appeal. While it is not rare or extremely valuable, it remains an important piece of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and a solid addition to any collection. Coins like this remind us that even common pennies can carry history, character, and lasting interest for collectors around the world.
Next up, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark below the date. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958 and remains one of the most iconic and widely collected coin series in United States history. The 1937 penny comes from the late 1930s, a period when the country was still recovering from the Great Depression. Pennies like this one were part of everyday commerce, used for purchases, savings, and change, which is why most examples show some signs of circulation today. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is considered a common date, as millions of pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of this high mintage, it is not considered rare, particularly in circulated grades. However, coins in very fine condition are more desirable than those in lower grades because they show less wear and more of the original detail. Collectors who are working to complete a full Lincoln Wheat Penny set often look for very fine examples for their balance of affordability and quality. In today's market, a 1937 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in very fine condition generally has a value ranging from about $1 to $3, depending on wear, scratches, and overall eye appeal. While this coin is not a rare or high-value coin, it is still many times higher than the coin's original face value of 1 cent, making it an appealing collectible for both beginner and intermediate collectors. Scratches are common on coins that have circulated for decades, and light scratches usually do not dramatically affect the value of a very fine coin. Collectors tend to be more concerned with serious damage, such as deep gouges, corrosion, or harsh cleaning, all of which can significantly reduce a coin's appeal. Coins that have circulated naturally, even with minor scratches, are often preferred because they retain their authentic surfaces and historical character. Color is another important factor in evaluating value. Most 1937 wheat pennies have aged to a brown or red-brown tone due to the natural oxidation of copper. This is normal and does not reduce value, while a pleasing, even coloration can enhance a coin's appeal. Coins that show uneven toning, mild surface dirt, or minor discoloration are still collectible as long as the main design elements remain clear and the coin has not suffered environmental damage. While the 1937 wheat penny is not considered a rare date, it is still worth checking for unusual features or minting errors. Coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can be significantly more valuable, even in circulated or very fine condition. However, most 1937 pennies are standard issues, and their value is primarily determined by condition, appearance, and how well the coin has been preserved. The appeal of the 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in very fine condition, even with some scratches, is a common but collectible coin. In today's market, its value generally ranges from about $1 to $3, depending on wear, scratches, and overall eye appeal. While it is not a rare or high-value coin, it remains an important part of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and a meaningful addition to any collection. Coins like this remind us that even everyday pennies can carry history, reflect the passage of time, and offer lasting interest to collectors and history enthusiasts alike.
Next up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, a classic coin from one of the most popular series in United States coin history. This penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark below the date. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was produced from 1909 to 1958 and remains highly collectible due to its long history, beautiful design, and connection to important moments in American life. The year 1942 is especially significant because it falls during World War II, a period when coins were in constant use and played a vital role in everyday transactions. Some scratches on a coin like this are completely normal. After more than 80 years of circulation, light surface scratches are expected from coins rubbing together in pockets, cash registers, and storage containers. These scratches usually do not significantly affect the value of a coin in very fine condition, as long as they are not deep or distracting. Collectors generally accept light scratches when the overall appearance of the coin is pleasing and the details remain strong. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark had a high mintage, making it a common date overall. Millions of these pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint to meet the heavy demand for coinage during the war years. Because of this, the coin is not considered rare, especially in circulated grades. However, coins in very fine condition are more desirable than lower-grade examples, as they offer a good balance between affordability and detail. Many collectors prefer very fine coins because they still show much of the original design while remaining reasonably priced. In today's market, a 1942 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in very fine condition, even with some scratches, is a widely collected and historically meaningful coin. In today's market, its value generally ranges from about 50 cents to $2, depending on wear, scratches, color, and overall appearance. While it's not rare or extremely valuable, it remains an important part of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and a solid addition to any collection. Coins like this show that even common pennies can carry history, character, and lasting interest for collectors around the world.